Yes, people, welcome back to Brendan Pearson Fitness. Apologies for the lockdown trim. We're 3 weeks in. Just let it be. Anyway, today's video is going to be one that I think a lot of people will probably need and also probably should look into, especially during lockdown. It is how to get your first push-up. Now, if you're listening back from the future and it's not locked down, then, well, first of all, well done for getting through it. And second of all, you can still learn from this video. Just want to walk you through the different progressions, the different stages of how to get your first push-up. It's a thing that I'm getting a lot of my clients to do during lockdown. Try and work on their push-ups. If they can't get one push-up, build up to try and get the first full push-up. And if they can get one, try and be able to get 10, 20, 30, etc. So this is how to get your first push-up. We'll start and get into it. So basic push-up, chest down to the floor. Obviously your hips and knees are off the floor. Drive the elbows back, hands are in line with the chest roughly, straight arms up and back down. This is what I do not want to see, and what I see too many times is people doing these half rep, quarter rep push-ups, especially if the kneeling ones, not being able to do it. And yeah, we want to be able to work on that. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm sick of it. Anyway, so first thing that I commonly see wrong in terms of push-up is the setup, the starting position. Your hands want to be roughly around shoulder width, if not a touch wider than shoulder width. Some people do go a little bit narrower, and that's going to emphasize a bit more triceps and shoulders. So if you're starting off, probably take your hands a little bit wider. Yes, that's a good exercise if you want to work triceps. However, it's going to be a little bit tougher. And then the same with going wide. It's not what we want to see. The elbows are flaring out too far. We want to tuck those hands in for them to, again, just be about shoulder width, if not a touch wider. And that'll help you kind of get the best bang for your buck. Next thing that I commonly see people doing wrong, especially with kneeling push-ups, is not pushing the hips and the chest forward and through, and kind of let the elbows flare too much. As you can see, if you push your hips forward, your chest will naturally drop in line with your hands. So if you want to get into that start position, like I said, just push your chest forward, push your hips forward, and your hands do want to be in that bottom position. They want to be in line with your chest. So make sure you're in that start position, whether you're doing full push-ups or kneeling push-ups. Few exercises. We're starting off with a few regressions, so kind of it's stage one where you can start off at to build up some push-up strength to be able to do the full push-up. First thing that everybody can do is some sort of tricep, bench dip, sofa dip, whatever you want to call it. So having your feet further away will make it harder. Bring your feet further in like I have here will make it a little bit easier. Again, building up the strength in the triceps, so we can then progress on to push-up variations like the wall push-up, which is a very simple variation. Again, you want to make sure your chest is going as far down as your head's going to touch the wall. Then from there, when they become a little bit easier, you can start increasing the kind of difficulty of the exercise, decreasing the decline. So again, I've dropped down to here using a barbell on a squat rack. You can use your stair banister, you could use your kitchen side, whatever it is, just progress it. And again, progress it, I should say. And then you're going a little bit further and further down. So yeah, I'm using the bench, and then I've dropped all the way down to a box, which again can be a tough variation. Now, if you start progressing and it's a little bit too tough at a certain stage, what you can then do is drop to your knees like I have here, just to make it a little bit easier and make sure we're getting that full range of motion, chest going all the way down to the box or the bench and then back up. So one kind of good marker in terms of reps to aim for until you get to the next stage where you need to push it is trying to aim for 3 sets of 10 of each exercise, maybe having about 1 or 2 minutes rest in between. Once you can complete 3 sets of 10 of that set exercise, that's when you know you're probably ready to try and progress it. Then maybe start at 3 sets of 5 at that exercise, then the next week progress it to maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 until you get to 10. So it's a nice little kind of key indication, roughly around 10 reps of 3 sets of 10. Is probably a nice little indication that, yeah, I'm strong enough, I can progress it and push on to the next exercise. So again, once you've kind of got the strength to not need the block anymore, you can drop into a kneeling push-up. Like I talked about before, push those hips through, make sure in that bottom position, the hands are starting in line with the chest. You can start from the bottom if you want to get into that position, all the way down, straight arms at the top. Next progression up, which is the one I get a lot of people to do, is eccentric push-ups. So pretty much eccentric push-ups allow you to be able to do a full push-up on the way down. And then you drop your knees down, drop your hips down, and then push yourself back up and then back into a full push-up on the way down. The reason that we do eccentric push-ups first before going into full push-ups is that we are actually stronger on the eccentric phase of an exercise, so the lowering part. So for example, bench press on the way down, on a squat on the way down. So in this push-up variation, we're a lot stronger going down, so we can hold a little bit more weight and then start to progress it into a full push-up. So a good little thing that I also do with a lot of my clients as well is once they get the strength to maybe do 1 or 2 full push-ups, I like to get them to do as many as they can. So for example, 2 push-ups, and then for the rest of a set of 10, they would do eccentric push-ups. So for example, like I said, if you can do 2 full push-ups, you would then finish off the set with 8 eccentric push-ups, which would just be, again, lowering yourself down, dropping the knees and the hips down, and then pushing yourself up from your knees. Makes it a little bit easier, and it's a nice little way to progress. So from there, you could go 2 full push-ups, 8 eccentric reps. Then the next week, you would try and get 3 full push-ups, and then drop the eccentrics down to 7 reps, and so on and so forth. And then obviously the final progression is the full push-ups, all the way down to the floor and back up. Again, making sure that you're going full range of motion, as long as the chest and the shoulders are getting roughly in line with the elbows. So your elbows at roughly 90 degrees. That's, for me, I'm happy with a full push-up. Obviously, you want to be able to progress it with a bit more control over time and get a little bit stronger at them. Then you can get to the point where you can rep them out for as many reps as you can. So yeah, key points: make sure the hands are starting roughly in line with the chest, not too high, not too low. Hands want to be roughly shoulder width, if not a touch wider than shoulder width, not too wide, not too narrow. Make sure the hips and the chest are pushed forward, so you want pretty much a straight line from your feet to your head, so there's no dropping of the hips aren't too high. Try and drop your chest down again, at least to a 90-degree angle in the elbow, so your chest is in line with the elbows. And yeah, just do full reps. So just progress them over time. Try and build up to 3 sets of 10 of each exercise. Then as you get a little bit stronger, you can start either lowering the angle of a push-up, or you can progress from kneeling to full push-ups or eccentric push-ups, and then just progress them from there. There's a million different progressions after a full push-up, but for now we'll just focus on getting your first push-up. So hopefully that's helped you. If there's any questions or anybody wants me to do any other in-depth exercise videos, let me know. Drop me a message. Instagram and everything is down below in the comments. Hopefully this has been helpful. I might leave like a little basic program down below so you can kind of progress it over a 2 or 3 month period. But yeah, thank you very much for listening, or thank you very much for watching, I should say, and I'll see you in the next video.